participants will have 3 minutes to answer their question. The question is, what do you think the job of vice president should be? And if you're elected, how would you fill that role? Well, there you go.
Good evening, guys. My name is Darius Miller, and I'm running with the Sure Party as vice president candidate. While assisting the president is an important aspect, the most important aspect of being vice president and the role of vice president is being a liaison between the administration and the student body. Being a liaison includes creating a communication network between me and the administration to keep the student body informed. Bi-monthly summits can be a good idea to keep the RSOs and administration upcoming with upcoming philanthropy events. Posting information on the SGA website on a weekly basis creates easy access also to be informed with the policies and new changes with the administration. Another role is marketing SGA efforts on improving the promotion of athletics, the arts, and philanthropic events. Working with the athletic department is just one of the ideas for increasing campus spirit and awareness. These things is the roles of vice president, excuse me. Again, I'm Darius Miller, and I'm running for the vice presidential party.
So I need to repeat the question?
Nothing.
Okay, go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to say thank you all for coming out to the Student Government Association debate this year. If you put it simply, I believe the role of a vice president is to assist the president, but it's actually not that simple. I feel that it's really crucial that as a vice presidential candidate, you elect someone that is proactive. I believe that Russell is fully capable of accomplishing and tackling some of the issues that we have listed as our party platforms, but there's no reason that he should have to do that alone. As vice presidential candidate, I would take on a lot of those roles myself, because I feel that in the past, being involved on campus and work with various organizations, you often see that vice presidential candidates, it's like pulling teeth to get them to help you. It's really important that the vice president goes about it themselves, and they don't have to wait for the president to say, hey, I need you to go talk to Dean Peterson. I need you to go talk to the athletic department. Also, one of our platforms, I know, is to find solutions to campus parking. If Russell and I were to be elected in the fall, we would tackle that issue by making the students more aware of the Blue Line, which is the bus system that is coming to the University of Memphis campus. I know that some of the buses have actually been ordered, but the reason that I know that is because Parking Services came and spoke with Student Government Association. Many of the students aren't aware of the Blue Line. They're not aware of the many things that are changing on this campus, and I feel that it's vital that the student body is just as informed as the student government is. Also, when it comes to athletics, Russell and I, we're so passionate about marketing athletics, and when he came to me and asked me to be his vice presidential candidate, he didn't say, hey Carrie, this is my platform, these are the 3 things I want to do, will you run with me? He said, hey Carrie, I know that you are capable, and I know that we share a vision about changes that we want to make on this campus, and we sat down together and we discussed those things that we wanted to change, and that is how the United Students Party came up with their platform. Thank you.
You may have to turn the switch on. I don't know if someone cut it off.
Hello.
There you go.
Good evening, everyone. Could you guys repeat the question? I think we kind of got lost.
Sure. What do you think the job of vice president should be? And if you were elected, how would you fill that role?
Well, with many positions here on the University of Memphis campus, it requires a lot of responsibility and a lot of duty for any position held at the University of Memphis campus. With the SGA vice presidency, it's a prestigious role that requires a lot of attention and a lot of duty and has a mass responsibility. I want to name 3 points that I feel is the main 3 as far as being a vice presidential candidate. Those 3 would be, first, servant leader. The vice president candidate should be able to be highly visible. And finally, I believe the vice presidential candidate should be a support system. If elected as vice presidential vice president, I plan to be a servant leader first. I believe that with the president, Hunter would normally be the ideal candidate to be out in the limelight and in front of the public most of the time. But necessarily the vice president isn't shown much, but there are roles that the vice president take upon himself and do sort of the dirty work, necessarily to say. I believe the vice presidential candidate is someone who is not afraid to get dirty, not afraid to take on those small tasks that doesn't necessarily get recognized often, and oftentimes it's those small tasks that makes up the executive board and make sure everything flows straight. I believe as a servant leader, I will be able to take on those responsibilities basically because it aligns with my personality as an individual, just being one of those people who doesn't necessarily need recognition for something, but is able to do the job and do the job well. Along with that, I plan to be highly visible. I believe as a vice president, one should be very visible in the sense of when Hunter is away, when the presidential candidate is away, because they have so many tasks and so many meetings and so many sessions to attend, they can't be everywhere at once. So I believe it is my role to take upon that responsibility and step in and be the representation for the vice president, for the SGA, and for the student body. I believe by doing so, Hunter will be able to be less of in a direct sense of having so much weight upon himself, and then allow me to be in the forefront and not necessarily in the background. Along with that support of being able to represent Hunter and the SGA, I'll be able to support the presidential candidate, the senators, the SGA, and even the advisors who take over the SGA. Being a support system as the vice presidential candidate, means that I will be able to be there to support and be able to help the SGA support all those things that we necessarily want to tackle for the students. Along with that, I want to continue to do the things that I've already done as far as mentoring and helping those students and those individuals on campus as far as like mentoring and just being recognized.
That's time if you can wrap it up.
I'm sorry. But more so, just for a support system, I plan to continue my role as vice presidential candidate.
It's time. Thank you.